Good morning and welcome. Today is Wednesday and I'm back with my weekday, the Healthy Sex Habit talk. Sorry, there's a helicopter flying overhead. Hopefully that's not disturbing me too much. So today I want to talk about nourishment and how we think about nourishing ourselves, how we think about, really indulging ourselves, and what the difference is between, hi Sarah, indulging and nourishing is, and and treating, and how we think about what we imbibe, what we take in through all of our senses. And I'm talking about it in reference to the different trainings I have. So I have a PhD in neuroscience, and then I'm trained in yoga, Ayurveda, meditation, and then Ayurvedic health coaching. What else did I leave out? Oh, executive coaching. I have lots of letters after my name. It's a little ridiculous. My brother and I sometimes have competitions about who has the most number of letters after our names. Anyway, so when I talk about nourishment, I want to talk about how we think about what we bring into from the external world into our interior world, right? Because for many of us, when we think about nourishment, we're just thinking about what we eat and what we drink, right? So I have here a delicious, organic, fair trade brew that I've just made myself. Yum. Because I feel like it's really important to consume things that are ethically sourced as much as possible. Hi Simon, hi Dana, hi Jacinta, and things that are going to make me feel good and treat the environment well and all of that kind of crap, right? So when we think about nourishment, I want you to think about your 5 senses, right? So not just what you put in your mouth, but what you are smelling, what you are touching, what you are watching, and what you are listening to. And I've had a lot of really interesting conversations with clients about this in the last, coming up for a year, living in the US. Hi, Kathy. Based on politics, right? And on also watching, like horror movies and stuff. My brother and I grew up not watching horror movies, and my sister-in-law loves horror movies. My brother and I are more like the kind of Stand By Me and, Back to the Future. That was our jam. But my sister-in-law is all about the scary horror movies. And once I understood Ayurveda and our own unique constitution, it made sense to me why, certain people are able to, process and manage taking in, more negative stuff through their senses, as it were. So what I want you to think about is, when you nourish yourself, what are you consuming through all your senses? So are you creating an environment that supports you, right? So, we often think about food, and food is very important. It's a large part of what I do. And when I talk about food, which I'm going to do in the next couple of weeks, it's really important to be super mindful about where your food comes from, whether you're eating with your seasons, and whether the food is good food, and then also what state of mind you are in when you take it in, right? So all these things that are quote unquote nourishing, you have to be in the right state of mind to receive them. And one of the things that I've discovered as I've kind of gone down this path is to think about how to pay for self-care, which is something that I always struggled with because it wasn't part of my childhood and the way I grew up. And I've been looking for local massage therapists. And I went to see this woman who, her actual physical technique, so her touch was really good, but she spent the entire time bitching, talking about how the restaurant that she was above was making smells that was really disturbing for her clients, and how, it was really hard to get clients, and she kept changing her fee structure, and would I refer people? And I went completely silent after a while, and she wasn't able to connect with the fact that I'd had an energy shift, right? So it was not a nourishing experience for me because, she was, spewing all of this verbal diarrhea at me about how, it was really hard to make ends meet, and how, this restaurant was producing grody smells that was affecting her clients and so on. So when you think about creating a situation that nourishes you, think about all of your senses. And this is particularly important when you are creating a new habit, because when you're creating a new habit, you're really working on initially using willpower and creating a structure that will support you, and a group of habits that are connected that will support you. So when you think about adding a new habit, so let's say exercise into your life, you want to think about, do I like when I exercise to be in nature, right? So going to a sweaty gym with, you know, electric lights and loud pumping music is not going to last for you. It's not going to work for you, right? If that's a really important part of exercise for you and makes exercise feel nourishing for you, then sort it out, right? If you're somebody like me who likes music when I exercise, who likes variation, I get bored very quickly and very easily and won't stick to an exercise routine if it's repetitive and similar. For me to commit to a nourishing exercise path, I need music, I need other people, I need that energy. Hey, Brad. I need that energy, right? So when you think about supporting yourself as you create healthy habits in your life, think about, how am I making this nourishing, right? How am I making this positive? How am I making it an environment that supports me from all my senses, so that it smells good, it feels good when you listen to it, when you taste it, like all your senses, right? You're consuming on all these levels. And I want you to be really mindful of that, because it will affect the way your mind and your body work together and how successful you are at creating these habits which will really, really stick. Does anybody have any questions? Hello. You're all just sitting there listening. I love it. Well, I'm just going to tell you a little bit more about my book. So my book, The Healthy Sex Habit, Get on Top of Your Life by Managing Your Sleeping, Eating and Exercising, talks about nourishment and how you want to think a little bit more carefully about how you create the right kind of dynamics in your life, right? So sleeping, how can you make a nourishing sleeping environment? So I've talked a little bit about sleeping here. So when you think about smells, you want to create scents that are pacifying and soothing, right? So lavender, vanilla, neroli, patchouli, all of those are soothing, pacifying scents, right? So those are the kind of essential oils that are good to use at the end of the day. Maybe you can massage your feet with them or have a bath with them. And you want to think about also what's coming into your eyes, right? So watching really violent TV shows or very disturbing news or politics right before you go to bed is going to disturb your ability to sleep. Light, right? I talked a little bit about melatonin and how melatonin is the hormone that's responsible for the sleep-wake cycle. And if your melatonin production is disrupted by your phone, your computer, watching TV, the blue light in those will destroy the ability of your brain to make melatonin, which will impact your ability to get into that deep stage of sleep, into the healthy sleep cycle. So as the day winds on and as the natural light outside starts to pacify, maintain that in your home. Dim the lights, bring it down, soothing, right? So think about how you can create a situation which pacifies you, which, excuse me, which nourishes you, which brings you down, right? So when you think about nourishment, I want you to really be mindful that it goes across all your senses, and it's not just about what you consume, it's about what you, orally, that sounds really dirty, doesn't it? Not just what you eat and what you drink, but what you listen to, what you smell, what you see, right? All of those will impact your ability to create healthy habits that will support you long term. And on that note, I'm going to go walk my dog and then have lunch with my girlfriend, Jen. Have a great day, guys, and let me know if you have any more questions.